Have you ever thought that money is not only a currency, but also a mirror that reveals one's true character? At first glance, money seems like nothing more than paper, coins, or digital numbers. Yet behind those numbers lies a deeper story, a reflection of values, habits, and even the soul of a person. The ancients often reminded us, do not judge by appearance or words. Look at how a person treats money, and you will know their heart. Why is that? Because words can be deceptive and appearances can be carefully staged. But money, how it is earned, saved, shared, or spent, rarely tells lies. It is in the choices we make with money that our priorities, morals, and true nature quietly reveal themselves. Think about it. When someone has just enough, do they choose to use it wisely, or do they waste it recklessly? When someone becomes wealthy, do they remain humble and responsible, or do they flaunt it to feed their vanity? And even in poverty, does a person still treat themselves with dignity, or do they allow hardship to strip them of self-respect? Each answer paints a picture of the heart more clearly than words ever could. In today's reflection, we will uncover 3 powerful signs hidden in the way people spend money. These signs are not about financial status, but about inner character. They show us whether someone lives with contentment or with greed, with discipline or recklessness, with sincerity or pretense. So as we begin this journey together, let us not merely see money as numbers in a bank account, but as a silent teacher, one that helps us recognize character, cultivate wisdom, and live with greater awareness in our own lives. Welcome to Ancient Philosophy, a channel dedicated to sharing timeless wisdom, ancient teachings, and life lessons that continue to guide us even in today's fast-changing world. Here we believe that the words of sages and philosophers from centuries ago still carry the power to illuminate our path, helping us live with more clarity, peace, and strength. Each video is crafted with care, drawing from the insights of great thinkers and the practical wisdom hidden in their stories. From the sayings of Confucius and Lao Tzu to the parables of other wise teachers, you will find reflections that not only inspire the mind, but also nurture the heart. If you value these reflections and wish to walk this journey of wisdom together, don't forget to subscribe to Ancient Philosophy, where every story is a light for the soul and every lesson a companion for life. 1. First sign: how they spend money on themselves. The first sign to observe when trying to understand someone's true character is this: how they spend money on themselves. At first, this may seem like a trivial detail, but in reality, it reveals more than most people realize. The way a person treats themselves financially reflects the level of respect they hold for their own life. A person who truly values themselves will spend in balance, not in reckless waste, but also not in neglect. They know the difference between satisfying genuine needs and feeding empty desires. When they buy something, they do so with intention, not just impulse. They do not starve themselves of basic comforts, nor do they drown in indulgence. This balance shows an inner clarity, a sense of stability that does not depend on what others think. On the other hand, there are people who spend money extravagantly, not for their own well-being, but to impress others. They chase luxury brands, lavish lifestyles, and unnecessary indulgences, not out of need, but out of insecurity. Ironically, the more they spend to prove their worth, the more it reveals a lack of inner strength. Their money does not serve them. Instead, they become servants to appearances. Let us consider 2 examples. The first is a wealthy individual who, despite having great means, chooses to live modestly. They may own nice things, but they do not flaunt them. They invest in what truly matters: health, family, learning, or meaningful experiences. Their modesty is not because of poverty, but because of wisdom. They know that self-worth cannot be measured by price tags. Contrast this with someone of humble background who still treats themselves with dignity. Even with limited resources, they take care of their appearance, eat simple but nourishing meals, and maintain self-respect. They may not have much, yet they walk with quiet pride. Their life teaches us that true richness is not about how much you own, but how deeply you value yourself. Philosophers and sages throughout history have echoed this truth. The ancient saying reminds us, "He who knows contentment is truly rich." It is not wealth that creates peace of mind, but the ability to recognize what is enough. A person who lives with this understanding does not need extravagance to feel worthy. They find joy in balance and dignity in simplicity. So, when you want to know someone's character, look at how they spend on themselves. Do they respect their needs without being enslaved by greed? Do they live for themselves or for the approval of others? These small choices with money reveal the vast landscape of their inner world. 2. Second sign, how they spend money on their family. The second sign that unveils a person's true character is how they spend money on their family. If the first sign shows how one respects themselves, this second one reveals how deeply they respect and value their closest relationships, their parents, spouse, and children. Money is not only for survival, it is also an expression of care and responsibility. A person who uses money responsibly for their family demonstrates not just financial discipline, but also love and gratitude. They understand that family is not a burden to be carried, but a bond to be honored. Providing for loved ones, whether it is ensuring parents have comfort in old age, giving children education, or supporting a partner's well-being, reflects a heart rich in responsibility and compassion. In contrast, those who spend selfishly, pouring resources only into their own pleasures while neglecting the needs of their family, reveal a fractured personality. They may look successful on the outside, but their lack of responsibility shows emptiness within. After all, what does wealth mean if it does not bring warmth to those we call family? Consider 2 examples. The first is a child of modest means who sets aside part of their earnings to support aging parents. They may not have much, but their willingness to sacrifice comfort for gratitude shines brighter than any display of wealth. Such actions reflect a noble character that treasures roots and honors family bonds. On the other hand, think of someone who earns a great income but uses it solely for personal indulgence, lavish outings, luxury gadgets, or endless self-gratification, while leaving their parents unsupported or their spouse and children neglected. This pattern of spending reveals not freedom, but selfishness. It shows a heart disconnected from gratitude and responsibility. Philosophers have long taught that the way we treat our family mirrors the state of our soul. An old saying reminds us, those who spend for family are the wealthiest in spirit. Because true wealth is not measured in possessions, but in the love and security we give to those who depend on us. So, if you want to know a person's character, look at their family spending. Do they see money as a tool to nurture bonds and provide care? Or do they treat it as a ticket for selfish pleasure while neglecting those closest to them? In these choices, the truth of their heart is revealed. 3. Third sign, how they spend money on others and society. The third and final sign that reveals the depth of a person's character is how they spend money on others and on society. If the first sign reflects self-respect and the second shows responsibility toward family, then this third sign uncovers one's true sense of generosity, compassion, and social responsibility. Generosity is not measured by the amount given, but by the heart behind the giving. A person who is truly kind does not wait until they are wealthy to share. Even a small gesture, like treating a friend to a simple meal or offering a helping hand to someone in need, can carry profound meaning. What matters is not the size of the contribution, but the intention that inspires it. A heart willing to share reflects a spirit that values humanity above possessions. In contrast, there are those who never give, who calculate every coin when it comes to others. They may enjoy wealth, but their stinginess leaves them spiritually impoverished. Such people often find themselves isolated, for relationships cannot be built on constant self-interest. When one is unwilling to share, their world grows smaller, colder, and lonelier. Consider two examples. The first is someone of modest means who, though not wealthy, still makes space in their life to support others. They might quietly donate a portion of their earnings to help a struggling neighbor, or simply buy a meal for a friend during hard times. Their kindness is not in what they give, but in the spirit of empathy behind it. Now contrast this with someone who has abundant resources but guards every cent with suspicion, refusing to support even their community or closest friends. They may boast of riches, but their refusal to give exposes a heart bound by fear and greed. No matter how large their bank account, they live in poverty of the soul. Throughout history, sages have taught us that the way a person handles money in relation to others is the ultimate test of kindness. An old saying reminds us, money is the ultimate test of kindness. Because money is not only a means of survival, it is also a tool to connect hearts. When shared with sincerity, it becomes a bridge of love and trust. So, when you wish to understand someone's true character, look at how they spend on others and on society. Do they use their resources to lift others up? Or do they cling tightly to every possession, fearing loss more than valuing compassion? In these choices lies the truth of whether a person lives for themselves alone or for the greater good of humanity. Conclusion. In the end, money itself does not define the worth of a person. Wealth and possessions are only tools, neutral in nature. What truly matters is how a person chooses to use them. Spending is not just a financial act. It is a reflection of values, priorities, and the kind of heart one carries. Think of it this way. If you want to know who to trust, don't just listen to their words. Watch how they use their money. Words can be sweet, promises can be empty, but money has a way of revealing the truth. A person who respects themselves will not squander recklessly, nor will they neglect their own well-being. A person who loves their family will ensure that what they earn also brings comfort and security to those at home. And a person with true kindness will extend their resources outward, using money not only for personal gain, but as a means to uplift and connect with others. The real lesson here is not about how much one has, but about how wisely and meaningfully one spends. Money should never become a chain of greed, nor a mask for vanity. Instead, it should become a tool to express dignity, responsibility, and compassion. So let us ask ourselves, how do we spend? Do we spend to prove something to others, or to nurture what truly matters? Do we hold on tightly out of fear, or do we use money to create warmth, trust, and love? The takeaway is simple. Learn to spend meaningfully for yourself, for your family, and for the good seeds you can plant in life. Because at the end of the day, money may fade, but the character it reveals and the love it nurtures will remain long after wealth has passed. If this video has brought you new insight or sparked reflection in your heart, we would love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share with us. Which of the 3 signs resonated most deeply with you? Your voice may inspire someone else who is also seeking wisdom on their path. If you found value here, please share this video with your friends and loved ones. Sometimes, a single idea can plant a seed that changes the way someone sees life. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Ancient Philosophy. Each week, we bring you profound reflections and timeless wisdom, teachings from the ancients that still carry light for our modern world. Together, we will continue exploring the lessons that help us live with more peace, clarity, and fulfillment. Thank you for being part of this journey. Your presence here is not only support for the channel, but also a sign that you are walking the path of inner growth.